But also, hi. Hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday so far. Here, and it feels like almost my weekly Saturday hoodie at this point. And we were at the last stream of October already. Because, I don't stream on Sundays. That's how my schedule is. So, if anybody has any inclinations to fill any of the bars, whether it be for tips or bits or subs, which, yeah, I don't see anybody doing that last one, that would be insane, and I think I would probably break. If anyone did, that'd be very much appreciated. Also, this reminds me, I didn't open GiftBot. I literally had time to spare, so I made some tea. Which worked out pretty well. Also, general rundowns for anybody who is unaware, shop is currently on a 10% off sale until the end of Halloween, so literally the end of tomorrow. That is it. Although for anybody who is currently subbed to the channel, you have access to a sub perk of getting an extra 10% off featuring a coupon code, which I should probably throw in the Discord, and I keep meaning to do so, and then I don't. I swear to God, I remember these things. Oh, also, given we have met the GeoGuessr stream for charity goal yesterday, thanks to you lovely humans, I have started one for doing a Hades for charity. Still same charity, because I think I'm just going to do 4 different games, on 4 different days for one charity, being Project Linus, so I figure, you know what, let's go with this. So yes, GeoGuessr, Hades, Ori and the Blind Forest is the third one. I don't know. I want to do games that I haven't played on stream before. That's why I'm choosing these things. And it'd rather be stuff I already have. Might do Naruto one. But yeah, still pondering on that. Also, my tea is done. Pretty much what the milk ended up being. Perfect tea drinking temperature. So there goes my tea. But yeah, other than, shop sale and then new community challenge. Kasu! Thank you. So that puts us, which also I should put that community goal is also at 25,000 channel points, so same amount. But thank you, Gatsu, for contributing your 2,000 channel points to the community challenge, which that puts it at 8% right now, which there is enough time because A, this thing takes 30 days, B, I'm not going to do that until at least later next month. I need a couple of weeks to get things situated because A, I want to, have this set up beforehand and all that sort of stuff, so yeah. Planning ahead essentially is what the goal is. But other than that, I will probably start blabbing, so let's get started on the sock because I have nothing better. Which also, it's 3 rounds of stockinette, which, to note, yeah, we are on the toe, as stream title says. Which it just got started, because I literally worked my way up from about, I'd say here to here this morning, because I was just like, you know what, I should get this done. Because that was my plan, to have this done by Halloween. Also, Sunlight, make up your mind, please. Let me get around back to the front, and then I will see Oh, I think I probably just need one more round and then I'll decrease again. I guess you, how are you doing? If you're up and, you know, available to chat. If not, definitely enjoy the lurk. Yeah. Sun might stop with these patches, although I don't think it can because I think there's supposed to be some rain going on again today, like after stream around 5. So basically it's probably patchy clouds out there, so there's gonna be pops of stupid bright sun and then, you know, clouds. So consistency is probably going to be a slight annoyance for me today. Hopefully not, though. But we will see. Let's see. Hey, stay long enough so I can count this thing. I think at least one more of these. One more rounds. Yeah, about one. And let me not accidentally tug the needle out of here, because that is an annoying time. Also, I'm trying to fix the thing from my headphones. Little headband part, and it's being slightly irritating. Although I did the whole trying to do super glue and baking soda. That's kind of working, although I think it might be because I know that baking soda has been in the fridge for a while. So, might be the fact that you probably need new baking soda for that chemical reaction to work properly or something. I don't know. That's my presumption anyway. Also, I'm kind of glad to finally be able to work on these socks on stream again, because this part does not require charge, although I'll probably need to peek at the pattern once or twice, but I have a general idea of how the decreasing works, which this is a free pattern, so I can probably say it out loud, which it's stockinette for a couple of rounds, decrease, and then one less round of stockinette and decrease like twice over, and then one round of stockinette, one decrease, I think like 3 times, and then you decrease like 4 rounds or 5 rounds in a row, and then that's it. Come on. There it is. See? It's getting way too bright again. The sun's like, I will be known. Then it just disappears. Oops, that's split. Alright. But yeah, once this is done, I weave in a couple ends. I only have like 5 or 6 to weave in. Although I think I actually might wash them first and then weave in the ends, because I figure at least washing them would probably be a good idea. Although they have to hang dry, although I personally prefer them to hang dry, is what I'm more inclined to say. Although I think this has superwash in there, if I'm not mistaken, because this is, what's its face, superwash. Because this is regular straw, and I'm pretty sure straw has superwash in there. Straw, we crochet, which it's the same yarn. Let's see, yeah, superwash. So you can dunk this in the washing machine and the dryer, so, and it should be perfectly fine. But I personally prefer when it comes to my hand knits, whether it be for me or someone else. Unless it's acrylic. Acrylic you can just throw it in anywhere and it should be fine in most cases. Obviously, just don't have the dryer too hot, or else, you know, you'll melt it, because it is plastic. One, two, three. Alright, yeah, I think it's knit two together in an SSK. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me open this thing, because I have Adobe on my phone. And also, OBS, I would like you to stay in my face so I can see where I am. Yeah, knit two together in an SSK. Alright. That's what I thought. But hopefully you guys are having a good weekend so far. Like I said, my morning consisted of breakfast and then be working on these socks for pretty much 90% of my morning. So I was just like, let's get this done, and then having some YouTube playing on my phone to keep me company, because I was still uncharted part of the sock foot, so I needed my tablet. Or else I would have watched the Only Murders in a Building, which I still have not gotten to. The last 3 episodes of this season. I really can't wait to see how it ends. It's just like, I'm curious to see who the actual killer is based on all of the suspects. Because who they currently have, at least based on the episodes I've seen so far, I don't think it's gonna be them, given that would be way too simple. Especially with 3 episodes left, so more than likely, it might be someone else. Someone that we've seen, but it might be someone else. And depending on how this plays out, will likely show whether or not I will come back to this show next season. Also, I didn't do the thing. Damn it. I just started into knit autopilot, even though I know I'm supposed to decrease right there, because this is the decrease round. There it is. Alright. I'm more than definitely going to give myself a day or two break once I'm done with these from sock knitting. I mean, I have other projects, so it is perfectly fine, thankfully. If I didn't, that would be a different story. Come on. There it is. It feels warm, although it could be the fact that A, I'm wearing this hoodie, and B, I just had tea. I suspect it might be the latter of these options. Also, I wonder if this is who I think it is. Come on. Is this thing stuck, or is it being stupid? Sorry, checking the Discord thing, and it's like I clicked the thing to go down to where it's supposed to be, and it's kind of looks like it's stuck, and I don't know why. Oh, there it is, I think. Felix! Hello. How you doing? How goes your Saturday? Although I know you're much later in the day than I, so how has it progressed so far? Okay, not what I was expecting. What else do I know? Alright, cool. I would have the light on, but given there's like breaks in the clouds every so often, I haven't turned my light on. But I won't. But, yeah. What? The moment I turn this on, or if not 5 seconds later, I swear to you, there will be some bright ass sun that comes through. I just bet you. Anyhow, how is your weekend so far? I'm doing toe decreases on the sock, Eat Choices socks. And depending, I presume we should have some time left. I might work on the crochet shawl from yesterday or do some floof spinning. Those are both options. Or I could do some sub-squares. I should probably do some sub-squares. But the thing is, I don't feel like doing sub-squares, which is what my problem is. Come on. Let's see. I think it's 2 rounds this time around. Come on. Nope. Come on. There it is. Also, I don't think I've explained what Hades is. I might have yesterday. I do not recall if I did so, but Hades is arguably a very popular video game where Zagreus, son of Hades and Persephone, is trying to escape the underworld. Hades is like, no. Stop screwing with the, actual order of things. He's like, nope, don't tell me what to do, then I'll do what I want. Sort of deal. And basically you gotta kind of battle your way up and you earn, what is it? Some purple tears. I forget what you call them. I haven't played the game in a while. Even though I have them on both PC and on my Switch Lite. And essentially, you get boons from the other gods up in Mount Olympus, who, as always, have their own agenda. Hades is not really pleased about this, although I feel like he's not really pleased about much of anything. And weapons and stuff galore. The farthest I've gotten is in like the 3rd section of the underworld, where all the good spirits go and so on and so forth. Eslium, however you say it. I don't think I've known how to say that word, Eslium. Elysium. Because, you know, with the, you know, underworld, with how the Greeks have told it, I'm not sure if the Roman underworld's the same thing, even though, you know, they syncretized and took, you know, the Greeks' gods from them after the whole, you know, Punic Wars business where they kind of punted everyone, was like, and were the baddest people in the area at that point in time. How did I get to this point? I do that, I just wander off topic. Anyhow, the syncretizing was always kind of a trick that the Romans pulled in order to, you know, get the other people that they've, you know, conquered into the fold more easily, because, you know, basically that would, you know, make the people less pissed at you. At least it's like if they could still worship their own gods and that sort of thing. If I am not mistaken, it has been a while. But yeah, the synchronization of religion was definitely a thing. Alright, was that the second time I did that? I think it is. I can't tell. Yeah. 1, 2, then decrease again, and then turn this off because sunlight once again. Anyhow, basically Hades is essentially a game where it's like fail until, you know, fail until you succeed and you get power-ups and all that good stuff of various types. And it's fun, also slightly frustrating, and should be a good time on stream. Or in a Blind Forest, I've seen it played, like, maybe a few years ago now, by Hat and Sandals Guy on stream. I have not played it. I got it on sale probably last year, but I've personally not played it. Although it definitely takes like a gig or two of space at least. Because that is one big boy of a game. But a really pretty art style, kind of reminiscent of Hollow Knight, honestly. But yeah, the whole charity streaming thing should be fun. Guess you endure your lurk. Alright, let's turn this back on. Oh wait, no. Get to this side. Need to do that. And then I think it's 2 more rounds of stockinette after this. Do, 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 do. Three by another decrease round, and then 2 plain rounds, followed by a decrease. Okay, start with a decrease. One, two, three. Decrease. 2. Decrease. And then another 2 stockinette rounds, then decrease. Is that the... Yep! It is indeed Evil Choices. Which I'm once again doing inside out because ain't nobody got time for all those pearls. Which you can also tell why I haven't worked this on stream, because this is a lot of chart. And trying to do that much chart in stream is irritating. I did try to do it once with these and then lost my place, and I was like, nope, we're not doing this. Which, these are not for me. Commission socks. A friend of mine really liked these when I knit these for Sock Madness, so been basically working on these for a while. It was my plan to have these done by the end of the month, which, you know, that's tomorrow, so at least I'm keeping great pace for that. Come on. There it is. Although, given her foot size is smaller than mine, so I went down to size 0s, because I think I used 1s for mine, but given how much stockinette this is, and how much stockinette stretches, I figured going down a size would help keep that into the general measurements of, you know, that foot size. Although that size is not terribly far off from mine, so it works. Oh gosh, did I say something? Did I say something off? Oh wait, yeah, you're ahead of me. Duh, you're... What time is it? You're, what, 6 hours ahead of me? So... Is it 5 or 6? I'm pretty sure it's 6. But a good chunk of the European people tend to, or at least the ones that hang out in here at times, it usually is 5 or 6, so I sometimes have to be like, I'm not sure if it's one or the other. The geography is fun. GeoGuessr is gonna be a mess. Yep, I am on the East Coast, so I am correct. Woohoo! Yeah. Alright, backside. Alright, so next round should be a decrease. And then every other is a decrease for like 3 times. But yeah, I have to say, I don't miss knitting these socks. Well, at the same time, it was a nice refresher. Even though at the same time, I kind of wanted to scream at points. Although, after doing the first sock, the second sock isn't that bad. So, yeah. There's pros and cons. Plus, this is a lovely color for it. This is Hollyberry. Okay. Da, da, da. Yeah, decrease. So, yeah, it'd be 32, 30, 28, 26, 24, and then... Okay, it's another 4 times. Alright. I was like, it was 4 or 5, but it depends on what size. Although, I think more people would use the small, medium size, given there's only 2 sizes for this. Plus all the stockinette means people are very much less inclined to need to go up to the larger size unless they have, like, quite the large foot. Which, you know, does happen. I could not imagine knitting these for anyone with like a size 13 foot. I think I'd cry. Because especially with the tree branch part on the bottom of the foot. Not the bottom of the foot, but near the end of the foot portion, you basically have to repeat, you know, those 6 rows, and it's just like... It's simple, but also kind of maddening at the same time, arguably. Okay. Alright. Come on. Do 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 do. I was gonna do something else and then do these later, but I think it's probably better that I just get these done. Which I thought was gonna be what happened yesterday, but that didn't happen. So, meh. Alright, SSK. Normally it'd be the other way around, but given the whole these are getting knit inside out, that's why it's knit 2 together happening first rather than SSK. Alright, so let me check how many stitches I have. 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. I think that's where I'm supposed to be right now. 24. Let me double guess. So 30, 28, 26, 24. Yeah, after that. So 24. So, and then minus another 6 would make it 18. Yeah, 18. Alright, so every other round decrease 3 times. Nope, come on. Given the whole this is straw yarn, it splits, especially with this being size 0 needles, even though they're not the pointiest of needles, but they're pointy enough. And that's all that matters with this yarn. Oh, also, I realized I haven't asked. Anybody have any Halloween plans, given, you know, 'tis Halloween Eve right now. And speaking of, can I? Oh yeah, I forgot this was 2-hour thing. I might switch that over to Halloween themed lo-fi in a wee bit. Last night in Soho? And yeah, that counts. I literally read the synopsis for that because I'm like, I know I'm probably not gonna see it. Unless it shows up on Hulu or something. Also, I do hope you guys can actually see what the heck I'm doing. It looks like it, but I know my hands are gonna make things go into shadow at some points. Also, let's make sure. Alright, yeah, this is stuck in it. And then decrease. Also, I did actually find my yarn needles, the ones that I was kind of screaming about yesterday. They were in a stupid place, and I'm just glad I found them, because that was annoying. Immensely so. I would honestly shudder to think what would happen if I didn't have said yarn needles to finish up things like this. Because it's quite the pain. Oh, that one! Oh yeah. I've been into the Halloween movies. They are not my jam. I'm not terribly much into a lot of horror, maybe some psychological horror, but that's about it. And even then it's just like, and if it's no jump scares, I'm cool. I don't like jump scares. Jump scares ain't it. Oh wait. Yeah, I did. I was like, wait a minute, I was about to do something dumb. And I was indeed correct, I was about to do something dumb. Which, how many movies does that make that with the Halloween series? 5? I think it might be 5. If I think about it. She is like the forever, Jamie Lee Curtis's character is like forever the final girl in those movies. Like, she is just a trucking with those. I wonder how much she has made off of those movies. There it is. Ta-da! Although I'll kind of be glad once Halloween is over, so... Last night... November 11th. I wonder why they chose that day. Interesting. Also, that's fair. It premiered yesterday here, so I forgot, you know. Not everywhere has the same release date. Come on. Well, it's 11. Oh. Yeah. There. There. I forget about that sometimes. At that being a thing. I do need to figure out a way to get... Yeah, that'd probably be better. It'd be slightly more annoying on being visible to me. Nope. Come on. Thank you. Ha. Alright, so... What's the first one? It's 2 more times, so... Stockinette, decrease, stockinette, decrease, and then just decrease 4 more times straight. Which I don't think I'll get through the entirety of that by the time first break for me happens, but definitely think I should probably be at least close to those couple of decreases in a row at the rate I'm going. I honestly thought this would take closer to 2 hours to get this completed, but apparently not. And then alright, come on. Nope. I split that stitch. Oops. I need to dig out that sweater I have hanging out in my acrylic yarn basket and get back to that. Oop. Hello, son. We have not seen you in like 20 minutes. How's it going? And man, does that make my hands look quite light. Whoops. Nope. Stop splitting yarn. There it is. Oh, so speaking of Halloween things, well, not, you know, that movie franchise, but general Halloween, I have not watched Hocus Pocus yet. Even though I should. That is always the best part of watching Halloween movies. I'm pretty sure they've probably shown it on ABC Freeform. I keep inclined to call it ABC Family, but that's what I've known it as pretty much a good chunk of my life, so that's usually what I call it. Also, let's see. There it is. Alright, so that's still going. Oh, so let me actually close this while I'm sitting here babbling. There it goes. Alright. Decrease. Make sure I do SSK. That's the second one. Given at this rate, I'm probably going to be done with at least an hour, if not probably more than an hour and a half to spare, so Might spin some yarn or something. I really did not think I'd get anywhere close to done within the first hour. Not that I take forever to knit things, but sometimes decreasing on the toe of a sock for me can take a little bit. But at the same time, I think that depends on what the heck I'm doing. Da-da-da-da-da. There it is, and alright. And then after this round, I think it's last decrease. Which at last decrease, it should be 20 going to 18. Just let me double check. Should have 20 stitches. 5, 10, 15. Yep. Alright, cool. Things are going how they should. I had meant to like have like a little thing or two on the screen for Halloween purposes, like little gift things, but I did not get a chance to do that today. Like if I had been, you know, closer to being done with this, I would have fiddled around with some stuff, but oh wells. Also, things I need to get done. Let's see what I need to have. A bit emote for potentially, you know, Halloween or something. Although I haven't checked what I need to do for... Wait, that's not the proper wording. I haven't checked which emotes are, you know, most used. Although at the same time, I know there's gonna be some general inclinations in some ways, because, you know, A, I don't have a tier 3 emote. Plus, I don't think there's been anyone really who has been past tier 1, which, again, I wouldn't ask anybody to buy higher than a tier 1 subs to the channel. But I do use that heart emote, so I kind of want to see maybe where we're at which emotes get used the most, and then potentially take out the least used one. Which I suspect might be the nap one, because that one is probably my least favorite execution-wise. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm like, there are some things I could definitely stand to change about it. I'll be real honest with you. Honestly, a good chunk of the minor details, but definitely have some things I want to pick around with that. Also, I still have the wallpaper, which I'm not sure I'm going to get that done in time. I might stand a chance if I sit down tomorrow and just work on that. pretty much the entirety of the day, but I do not foresee that being, you know, a thing that happens. Alright, should be 18 now. Yep. It was 20 before, so 18 now on both sides, which, let me count this other side. 5, 10, 15, 18. So 18 should be on both sides. And then decrease 4 more times? Yep. Decrease 4 more times straight. Cool. Probably gonna do this one and then take my break. Come on. Come on, come on. Also, if I wander out of frame, that is completely and utterly my fault. I try not to do that, but it happens, especially if I'm trying to see what's going on with this. Especially given these glasses are for far away, which I wear these mainly because if I don't have them on, chat is a little bit blurry for me. Not completely illegible, but, you know, hard enough on my eyes that it's like I kind of would have to strain them in order to get it to actually, you know, be legible. Oh, nope. Knit two together. Nope, nope, don't do that. There it is. And okay. Alright, so I have 30 seconds, so I can leave this here for the moment. So I only have 3 more decreases and then it's Kitchener time once again. Which, given I actually have my needles, this should actually go a lot smoother compared to yesterday's almost rage quit fest. Alright. My hands, given I've been knitting a good chunk of today, are kind of cranky as it is. So it's actually a good thing that I take a small break here. So, yeah. We have now just hit the hour mark, so I'm gonna go take my break. Also wash my teacup. So I'll be back in the usual 10 minutes, so definitely a good time if you want to get up and stretch. And wow, did this thing zoom in or did I nudge this thing down somehow? Might have nudged it down a little bit. Oh wait, nope, wrong screen, that's why. Because it's the spinning cam, so this will be a little bit closer anyway. Yep, there it is. It was like, wait, this looks different. Hi, hopefully you guys enjoyed your break time. I'm just gonna mosey on here and do my 3 decreases I need to get done, and then grab my needles for Kitchener, and then move on to something else. This is not gonna take terribly long. Come on. Come on. But yeah, once these are done, I have no socks on the needles, which I don't mind. I usually prefer to have a pair of socks on the needles. But you know, sometimes that doesn't happen, so eh. Oh, also make sure I move that mouse from there so I don't accidentally close the dashboard, because that would be a not fun time. I've certainly done that more times than I'd care to account for. Which is always just like, I moved the mouse out of the way. Why did you go on the one place on the window that I don't want you to be on? And stop being bright again. For the moment anyway. There it is. And round 2. Really? Alright, this should be 3rd round. This is a terrible time of being able to stay where I position it at a certain angle now. It's really weird. Like whatever's holding it up in place at that point seems to be broken or something. I need to open this thing and see what the heck's going on. Which, given my screwdriver, I should be able to do so. And just see what's going on in there. If it's something fixable, like I just need to tighten something, it should be alright. If not, and then I'm stuck with it that way, I'll just have to live with that. Oh wells. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Just a general reminder, if anybody wants to have a giveaway happen in the month of October, I'm going to need one of those bars that are above my head to be filled in order for that to happen. Which stuff like that also is very helpful, especially during holiday season, to allow me to be able to send things to you guys, because, you know, package cost goes up during holiday season, which, you know, that's always fun. And I really do think that's gonna be a regular thing nowadays. Get anything, and the last round it decreases. Because there's 12 stitches on each side, so we've got these left here. Oops, nope, and I'd close the blinds, but that honestly wouldn't do anything. Cat Dreamer, thank you for the follow. Hello, hello. How you doing? Hopefully Saturday is treating you well so far. Also, I'd love this link to stop doing that. There it is. Hope all is well. I am doing this last round of decreases on a sock tail that I'll need to quickly grab my yarn needle and then We'll be Kitchenering this toe. Also, why are we not going through? There we are. And welcome to the channel. Do you happen to do any sort of crafting? If you want to, if you actually feel like talking. But yeah, if you happen to do crafts of any kind, totally feel free to share, although that's obviously not required of you if you want to hang out with us here. Alright, and the last round of decrease is done. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna need my wee little scissors too. So let me grab both of those. I know where the needle is, and I should know where the wee little scissors are. Wee little scissors, where art thou? Where are they? I saw them yesterday. Nope. Really? Oh wait, there they are. Yay! Like I know I saw them. Ha! Alright, cool. So, general rule, at least one I've seen some places, when it comes to Kitchener, is you tend to want to, if you want to have the right amount of yarn, you want to wrap your yarn around how many stitches you have left at least twice. I like to give a little bit of leeway, just in case. Cut that off. And then that should be more than enough to get you through weaving your way through these stitches, which given these Evil Choices socks, this is currently inside out. So I'm doing the inside out method of knitting these. Because having to do all that purling did not appeal to me. Alright. I did say I was going to change the music to the Halloween stuff, didn't I? I can do that once I get through. I lurk it. No worries. As always, indeed. Enjoy your lurk and good luck with your sewing. Sewing is one of those things that is not in my wheelhouse. I can do like the basic rudimentary, but other than that, tends to not be my thing. But I do hope you're enjoying your project. Let's see. Oops. Did I do that? Yeah, I accidentally did that incorrectly, I think. 6. Yep. Alright, so put you back on the needle. Thing. Oh, that wasn't even the stitch. That's helpful. That would be this, and then there it is. Luckily I didn't pull completely tightly. or else that would have been a very, very bad time. Careful. Also a slight hazard when it comes to these. Especially when I'm doing this, is I worry sometimes that I might not just stitch off the edge unintentionally. Because it's again one of the things on the list of things that I've done. Alright. Gently. Alright. Almost there. Because it's 10 stitches on each side, so it's not terribly much. To do in the way of Kitchener. Way that off there, and then ta-da! There it is. Alright, so we have our toe finish, which for anybody who doesn't know Kitchener that well, it should be pretty much seamless. You're not supposed to be able to tell once you're done. And as you can see, I have a bit of yarn left over to weave in ends when it comes to down here. So let's turn this sock inside out. Or rather, the right side, so you can actually see what's going on here. Ta-da! Shush! And I fixed that anyway. Also, that's why I prefer using yarn needles to do Kitchener. Because it goes a lot better. Otherwise, it usually ends up terribly. But yes, I have finished socks also. Yeah, these definitely should. Probably actually better if I weave in the ends first, which it's only 2 on this sock and then actually slightly more on the other sock. Because I had to cut somewhere on the foot because of the whole yarn fiasco. But yeah, we have second finished socks, so I am done these socks, which I do enjoy this yarn. And I have a bit of both of these skeins left, so might end up in scrap socks in the future. So, okay, that's what that is. There. Also, I should probably wind this now that I don't need this in here. Which, these things are really, really handy. Although, Rogue Knitter had some of these made out of, like, you know, dollar store socks you just cut. What is it, like the toe and then top part, and then it's just like, poof, you have the thing, which is very, very handy. Let me go grab my ball winder and then wind that. Also, speaking of that Haxie Puff. Because I was not letting it stay like that. At all. Alright. Alright. Which, this is one of those nitpicks ball winders. Nothing fancy. I've had this for a couple of years. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't click with me when I'm doing with the crochet hook. It's not terribly much in the way of difference. But as you can see, I kept ending up with the, you know, what it is, those bumps that should not be there. Essentially, that would mean I would have to have done it inside out to have it look how it's supposed to look, which, you know, technically impossible. So, yeah. Crap. Where'd the end go? Are you kidding me? Why? I hate when this thing does that. Although... Come on. There it is. I hate when this thing swallows the end. Alright, let's try that again. Da, 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 da. I've not made any Hexie Puffs today. I didn't even touch the one that I started yesterday. I think because I was just so damn annoyed by all of that. I probably should get that done with. Okay. I should probably check how many ounces I have left of this. Probably like, say, maybe ounce and a half of this and the other one put together. Which again is probably not going to be enough for socks on its own, but if I'm going to do something, say, color work, probably use these. Come on. Come on. Almost there. Whoops. Sorry. I hope it did not just deafen anyone with the mic. The ball winder just nudged it. My bad. There it is. There it is. Alright. As you can see, not terribly much left. At least in the way of when you're making, like, you know, an adult-sized sock. For small human socks, this would definitely be a good amount of yarn. Which I do want to make some socks for that friend of mine, which I have not poked him in a while. I should do that at some point. Also, I need to weave in these. That's where I had to cut the yarn because it had gotten tangled. That was a fun time. Slightly annoyed that this didn't come out as clean, but you can still see what it is. But anyway, socks are done. Thank goodness. Hopefully these fit, which they definitely should because stockinette definitely lends itself to stretching out a bit. And it's about the width it should be for the foot size, which is 7.5 anyway, so should be good. But yeah. Yeah, so these eyes are gonna get a wash. This is gonna go back in the thing, and then might see about starting one of those crochet shawls again, like the one I was working on yesterday, although I'm still not terribly certain if I like how this is working with this yarn here. Like, I don't know, maybe. Alright, let's blind this. I am out of frame, but give me a sec. There it is. I'm honestly just 50-50. I do like the look, but I do have the other bit of it, so. But I think, oops, not mean to hit the screen. I'm not sure if I have enough of the sparkling yarn to do the thing. Yeah, the hell? Don't do that. Please don't tangle. I very much appreciate if you don't do that. There you go. Da, da, da. Let's see. Don't mind me, I am over here untangling yarn. Come on. No. Why? Come on. Do the thing. There's another goddamn knot in this, although I think I might be able to get this to come apart, maybe. Okay, there it goes. Yay! Alright, and done. Oh, this is gonna get annoyingly weird really fast. That's great. Oh, this is one of those that it was not even, huh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain. Well, that also reminds me, I have not been. Where the hell did that go? Should be in here. Not what I'm looking for either. That's really weird. Unless that's in another thing. Really weird. Either there or it's in here. Oh, yep, it's in here. This is what I was looking for. Oh, so it's dark. I forgot to have that too. Put in there. It won't make it terribly far. Which it might take a little while to get that to untangle from there, so I'm probably going to leave that alone. Here. Sorry, had to go digging through my yarn stash. Hopefully that didn't take long. Okay, that was 10 minutes. Not terribly long, but long enough. Oops. Okay, this is some handspun that I'd done a little while back, but I have no clue what it is. Which, given this color, it actually wouldn't be terrible if I incorporated this in here, maybe. That or make it its own separate thing. Either way, I'm gonna need to wind this into a cake. But this little one I could probably incorporate into here. Maybe. Took me a little while because the bin that I have my Handspun in is a wee bit of a mess in spots. Like, not terribly much, but definitely a tiny bit of a mess in places. I could definitely stand to deal with that at some point, maybe. I mean, not as bad as my acrylic yarn bin, but definitely could stand to get looked at for a little bit. Also, is that story? Yes, it is. Alright, let's close that. Cool. Had a stream on background. Tab muted, obviously. Okay. Pretty sure this is wool of some kind, but potentially some sort of Rambouillet or something like that. I know I'm probably saying that incorrectly, as I want to do. That stuff definitely has that sort of springiness in there. Jane! Hello. How goes? I'm here winding yarn. I finished the socks. Just finished like 15-20 minutes ago. And I'm switching to other things. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about this. I might keep it as is. But I'm pondering. But how goes your Saturday so far? Yeah, come on. Also, as you can probably see if you look down in the channel point section, we have a new community goal. Because the other one got filled yesterday. So that's good and set now. Which I figured it would, but I didn't realize that you guys would get that done in a week. That went a lot quicker than I expected it to. Also, I'm almost done winding this. Witchy Gamer, hello! How are you doing? How is your Saturday going? I am winding some yarn. Don't mind me. Almost done. Given it's such a small thing, I didn't bother putting it on, you know, what's its face? What is the name for that thing right now? Oops. Come on. Please don't. Aw. What kind of presents? And you got some time, I hope. Oh, okay, that was a smile. Because I saw the face and I was like, that does not look like a good time. Not bad. I finished some socks just now, commissioned socks. So now I have no socks on my needles currently, which is good. Probably stand to take a break. An Archways blanket I made one for my in-laws. My grip. Aww. Blankets are one of those things where I don't do them terribly often just because they're a lot. Alright, we're almost done winding this thing. Honestly, they're not terribly difficult, but you know, have some slight bias given the whole I've been doing it for a couple years now, so I have at least some idea what I'm doing at this point, which helps. There are definitely some tutorials. I'm not sure if you're in the Discord. If so, Jane had put in the Sock Madness channel a video on a tutorial on learning how to do socks. It's basic. Oh, okay. Yay, basic stuff. Yeah, I've never done anything like too fancy. I definitely prefer to crochet my blankets. I may need to... Alright. I'm done winding this, so I can actually give you a invite to the Discord, but you'll have to wait 10 minutes because there's a slight wait period, because, you know, trolls be stupid, so I try to, you know, have some preventative measures to avoid stuff like that. Plus, I don't have live links. So I'm very well aware of who I give the links to. So, alright, invite. Where's the thing? Gotta give it a second. Copy. Come on. There it is. Alright, so I'm gonna PM you that. Come on. Whisper. There we go. Yes, I'm aware. That's what I have in there. There it is. Alright. Also, who the hell texts me? Oh, I thought it was important. Never mind. I thought it was important, and I was mistaken. And yeah. I know some people are totally fine with having their links in the thing, and that's totally cool. I just, you know, want to avoid having any potential issues from the get-go. Alright, also, let me wind this. Dun, 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 dun. Let me do the thing. Because this has been, like, put together for a while. Kind of want to loosen this up a little bit. So it's not that much of an issue. No problem. Also, Jane, are you working on the shawl still? Because I saw you were in Stacy's stream. I was lurking. As usual. Alright, and... thought so. You get... I'll do the last clip. I want to finish the crush. Yeah, I saw that. I actually looked in the chat. And I saw you said you're kind of done. And it's like, fair. Fair. Is that a... Yep, half granny square shawl. And thank you. This is some Handspun from Wool Gathering. Well, actually, the floof, but I spun it myself. Been using it in this because it's 100% wool. So, you know, not going to be for socks or anything like that. But I've had that hanging out for a while. Probably gonna... How long until break? About 5 minutes. Alright. Let's at least get this starting to wound up on there. So I can then get this. I was gonna use the Corydell that I'm having. She's asking. Yeah, I would have to go buy the floof and then spin it. Although, do they still have that? They probably do. I've honestly pondered getting more of this so I can add it to the shawl. Maybe? Because I like having my shawls large. Let's see. How about if I spelled that correctly? Yep. Now that we're asking about it, I need to know. There it is. Alright. Oh, they have some really pretty Christmas colored ones of merino wool and silk. Ooh. I tend to not browse Etsy terribly much. It tends to make me want to buy stuff. Although I should be working on my own shop stuff and things. Let's see. Do they have this one? Let's see. I know it's pretty sure it's just full-on merino. Let's see. All BFL wool, BFL Polworth blends. Undyed. Let's see. Okay, it's not in the extras. I'm guessing they don't have this one specifically right now. That's a shame. Must be out of stock of that right now. Commercially dyed. Yeah, they must be out of stock of this stuff currently. Aw. And I like this color. Purple is also my favorite color. This is why I bought this. Because this is the first floof that I personally bought to spin. So, yeah. I've had this for a little bit, like about 2 years now. Yeah, why are we tangled? You're not allowed to be tangled. Autocorrect, yeah. Autocorrect is the least helpful typing assistant at times. Come on, I just needed to do the thing. Nice. I also like blue. Purple just tends to be my personal go-to color, but, you know, if there is no purple in some cases, I'll either go with blue or, you know, green. Okay, why are we doing this? Really? Why? I swear. Do you just not like me right now? Yeah, it's just gonna keep doing that for the moment, I think. Great. It ignores that. It's like I told you to stop doing that. I don't care. Oh my gosh. Alright. Can I leave this or... I think, honestly, this shade of green might be better for its own thing. I'll be real honest. So I could honestly start another one with this color and then go from there. I don't know. I don't know. As I ponder. Which also, this is the other one I was talking about. This is in Corydell. Grumpy Tour on my phone. The I do what I want. Also, is Yarn Needle still here? Yes, it is. Cool. So I can get this. I was trying to undo this earlier, and then it just broke on me because I tugged too hard. Which was fun. I love this is turning into me just untangling things stream. Oh well. How much time? Okay, yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark, so I think I'm gonna go take my break, even though since finishing socks, I've not done anything other than wind and untangle yarn. And I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and hopefully we will actually get to something for the rest of the stream. Maybe, possibly, who the hell knows? Anyway, I'll be back. Feel free to play the Plinko. But yeah, hi. So I think I'm gonna start another one of these. I'm not sure if I can go by this or this. I might do this because I do like this a little bit more. I don't know. Although I have a lot more of this. I have 8 ounces of this, although some of this is not even plied still. It's like hanging out in a bag I have. Where the heck did the other hook go? Oh, nope, that's not it. That is a long knitting needle, but of the same color. Also, while I'm scrambling around for that, here are socks. Not a problem. It happens. Sometimes I don't check either, so that is completely fair. Where is my G-hook? I was using it for this thing earlier. Where the hell did it go? Whoa. Oh, right there. Which I was gonna do the other shawl, but I would need to get this on the Swift. Which this is like the majority of what this yarn is, although I'm half inclined. I figured that was you because I saw the follow back, and I was just like, that name looks familiar. Thank you. These are commissioned socks. This is the Evil Choices sock yarn, which Dane is probably familiar with it as me from Sock Madness earlier this year. But a friend of mine was like, hey, how about you make me these socks? Which she's gonna pay me for these. I just finished these today, so I'm gonna weave in the ends later and then let these soak for a minute and then let them dry for a bit. So that's the deal. Alright. No. I have no idea where the center pole for this is, so I'm just like, eh. And then, yeah, especially when you're busy doing something. It's like, I'll get back to that later. You don't get back to that later. You really don't. And no matter how many times you think you will, it will never happen. Oh wait, no, I think it's the other way where it's like you have the tail. Yep, I think I remember how this goes. So I think I'm just gonna start another one of these. To use a ball of yarn. Alright, let's see. 2. I'd be doomed. Oh no. I don't use Facebook. I say this like this frees me from, the Facebook grasp, considering the whole, they have Instagram too, along with WhatsApp, although I don't use WhatsApp, so it's just literally Instagram, the only way I'm in their sphere of influence. That I know of, anyway. Working on this. Oh no! Shawls. That is my one gripe with shawls. They are pretty, but once you start getting, like, anywhere substantial, it's just like 10 hours later, we're in this one area, and it's like, I was hoping to get this done sooner, but that's not happening. Every time. And considering the whole I wear scarves as shawls, I've done a couple of them. I have one on the needles, but it's very chart intensive, so yeah. It's one of those I'll get to in a while. A wrap floor. Oh god, no. Wrap floor. Ugh. But yeah, 435 is quite a lot of stitches. I forget how far I am in the what's its face? A diamond looking shawl. I pulled it. Oh no. That's annoying. So I think this might be the first time that I've ever done this half granny square shawl. I've not had to like look directly at the instructions. I had to remind myself how to do it for the other one, so it's kind of fresh in my head, but typically I have to check, you know, when I'm starting out, so I usually don't remember how to get it started. Typically. Yeah, the oh no. Also, yay commission! Yay hat commission. What kind of hat? Is it like a sock yarn hat? Which I have not done one of those. Because I don't think I have the patience. Because knowing how long it takes to knit with sock yarn, I feel like doing it for a hat would drive me nuts. Had some... Oh no. Ah, the tree hat. That one was pretty though, so I can understand why you got a commission for that, because that one's gorgeous. Especially if you have like a nice multicolor for like, you know, sunset or something in the background. Oh, okay, never mind. I jumped to conclusions. Never mind. Don't mind me. This is worse as a witch hat for a cosplay. Ah! Okay. I've considered doing that tree hat. That would certainly occupy your time a bit. Also, I hope this isn't too stiff. No, you're fine. Probably just jump the gun just a wee bit. Sounds like... How are those adorable, rambunctious kittens doing? I really do love when you post pictures of them. But it's just like, no. Also, is this a little thick or no? It feels like in some spots. This is definitely earlier in my ability to spin things, so touches of this might actually be closer to decay in spots. There are... Yeah, I could see that. Boxer from getting fed? Oh no. And the other would. Oh no. Yep. Sounds right. Sounds very much right. Like, it's time to play. And it's like, no, it's not time to play. Also, whoops, I didn't do the thing. It's supposed to chain 3 whenever I do that. Knocked over my dice tray. I had to finally lock them out of the room. Aw. Did they try to protest by meowing at the door for a bit and then eventually wandered away? Ah, come on. There it is. I could see that being the potential end game there. I would like cats, but my only thing is that the whole financial part of taking care of them, like especially with vet bills and everything, but also the whole them being active in the middle of the night, and it's like, I'm just like, can we not? They pretty much are. That is kind of their whole deal. Okay, yeah, I think this might be... They might be... Yeah, I might have to up this up to an H. It feels a little bit stiff in spots. Yeah, because like you see it, it's kind of really stiff. Which is not what you want out of one of these. In their room at night for now. So they're used to it. Aw. Also, that they have their own room. Okay, so given this is a little bit stiff, not sure how long we'll keep doing that. We don't want them in our room at night, so yeah. Because I imagine they would probably not be the greatest for letting you guys sleep, so that makes complete sense. Alright, I'm not liking how that is. I really would have to up this to probably worsted weight, so an H hook at least. So, it's a little bit too stiff. So, I can't wind that off because that's gonna be a weird thing. Why is it so hard to find anything to do? Like this, I'm almost out of yarn for the smaller skein bits. Oops. Although I could honestly go back and put this on my smaller needles to get this to even out, which is entirely possible. But I'd have to make sure I'd wind this back together. Also, this stands out. Did you? Yep, I found them right after stream, like not terribly long after stream, in a very stupid place. I was mentioning this earlier, and I was just like, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew something like that was gonna happen. I was just like, well, at least I found them. It is always the way with me. I can't find something. It is in the stupidest place you could think of. It was still in my room. It was just in a weird spot, and I was just like, thanks. You guys are so helpful. Cats love boxes to no end. It's adorable. It's like, when in doubt, look in boxes. If you can't find them. Although they also like to occupy other weird spaces sometimes, so boxes are not always the go-to, but they are a go-to. It's a good thing this is not terribly much progress, or I'd be annoyed. Also, there is my link tree, which has things like my Ko-fi page and my Etsy page, which, just a reminder, my Etsy shop is on sale until the end of Halloween tomorrow. So if you guys want stuff, especially for some gift getting, pre-holiday season, definitely a good time to check out the shop. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. There it is. It got caught on itself weirdly in the spot. Nope, don't do that. I really wish I had some more handspun options to put in here right now. I don't really. Like, I had put this on here earlier, but I didn't like the way these shades of purple interacted, given this is definitely a warm tone, and this is a cool tone, and I didn't like how it looked together. Which is why this definitely needs to be its own separate thing. Also, this has been like me just pulling out and unwinding things the entire past hour or so. Like, this is the opposite of what usually happens when I start completing things. It's hilarious, also annoying. But I'm very, very much glad that I have socks off of my to-do list for the most part. Because that's been a thing I wanted to get done for a while. Because I didn't like the way that this was. You have any Halloween plans, Jane? I really don't. Not that I don't like it, but it's one of those, I hadn't really thought about it. It was like, oh yeah, that's happening. I'll just do other things. That one? There it goes. If I go down to my F hook, it might be a wee bit stiff. Because the rest of this yarn is pretty much about sock yarn weight. This is definitely more towards slightly sport yarn weight, which is not helping. Might go get it. Ooh. It's not a bad thing. It was a, oh no. Although you did mention some stuff. What was it? Tuesday? About Tuesday or so. So that makes sense. That sucks, but at least the week is over. And you have some time to yourself at this point in time. Had a lot of meetings. What were they protesting? Ah, oh yeah, election day. That makes sense. That makes sense. I keep forgetting that's a school holiday because I've not been to school in a while. So I forgot holiday. Also, what? How the heck did that happen? Did she activate the lock? Unintentionally? That's the only way I could see that happening. Indeed. I like pumpkin flavored things or pumpkin spice flavored things in the fall. I know it's so basic of me, but it's very, very much of the season. Yep. Don't get that tangled. Thank you. The student account came up with themed dress, and one day boy. And also fair, although there were, you know, cowboys of color, because, you know, the whole Wild West thing as a stereotype is obviously not accurate. I mean, there's Bass Reeves, of course. He's definitely one of the most famous cowboys of color that I personally know of. Used her key, relocked it, and continued to relock it to try and remove her key from the door. She's got great comment. Today is an off day. Okay. It happens. Also, yeah, that would be... That would be like, what the hell? So if we teach... Yeah. Ugh. Instead of glossing over things... Because, you know, the Wild West is typically depicted like, you know, what is it? Jesse James, infamous bank robber. Who else? Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And, you know, what's his face? The OK Corral, which it actually wasn't at the OK Corral, but it was kind of like in a back... I say a backyard, but I mean, like, you know, it can't be a parking lot, but, you know, it's like in a area behind it. Like, it wasn't directly there, but that's why they call it the OK Corral, because I guess it was the closest place. But it's like always stuff like that. And I'm just like... Guys, it'd be great if you guys, you know, get these fallacies checked in actual history books. But, you know, they want to teach other stuff, which, yes, I get teaching stuff for tests are important, but it's like, can it not be the only thing? Or at least, you know, have some sort of interesting details. But as math, I just want to teach math. Fair. You do not have a dog in this fight, so you're just like, can I just do my job, please? Can I do the job that I'm getting paid to do? You know? That thing? That'd be great. Hopefully things do calm down, but it's like, I could see where both sides are coming from. As well, but it's just like... Alrighty! I hope dinner is good. And thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy Halloween if that is your thing to celebrate. If not, enjoy your Sunday. Alright, so I've gotten this. Do you want to keep this on here or what? By a female in... Ooh! That is cool. Calculus was not my strong suit, but that is interesting. Thank you! Ever publish a math text and become a... Oh, wow. That is a lot. Also very interesting. Alright, so I wound ball. Do I want to keep this? She was Italian. Okay, I was wondering if it was like, you know, somewhere, say, you know, Europe. Because that feels like a Europe-based sort of historical matter. At least based on what I know. Which is not a ton. But I know a wee bit. Alright, let's see. Yes, I'm gonna redo this thing and see how I feel. But I definitely do feel like these colors should kind of be its own thing. But I would have to get the other bit on the Swift and see. Alright, so I'm gonna leave a stitch out of there. Which I went down a hook size, so I'm gonna try to be a wee bit loose. Most advanced math came from Europe, wasn't until they accepted the Arabic numbers. Yeah. I have, like, doing out. No! And that would be a pain. I can read Roman numerals at times. Like the basic numbers. But the higher up numbers where it's like, you know, 1,000 here and 500 there, it would be like, help. Imagine doing multiplication with, you know, Roman numerals. I'd just be a mess. I'd be an absolute mess. Yeah, this is still big. Although that part I kind of suspected was gonna happen. It's fine. Although if I did these as half doubles or... Let's see, what did it look like if I did a half double? So, pull through 3 of these. And moving to base 10. Yeah, I vaguely remember the base 10 bit in school. I think it was definitely college. Oh, okay. If I did it this way, it's gonna be about similar to this. Okay. Cool. Alright. So, let's see. If I make these guys smaller, that might help. Probably should have fiddled around with this a wee bit more yesterday. The base of 10 thing, I remember not being terribly, you know, complex of a system, which obviously helped things out. By teaching my... okay. That I don't know off the top of my head, but considering I never really did computer science, that would make sense. Come on. I'm trying to be real loose to make sure this doesn't get weirdly stiff. Also, I forgot I need to up the saturation because this is stupid bright. So let's move that guy out the way. Oh, so pre-roll's off, so anybody who is not currently subscribed will probably get pelted by ads at some point in the last 20 minutes. My bad! Let's see, craft cam. Oh, I could have just clicked properties, but I forgot. Alright, so saturation, because I turned it down because the socks are stupid red, thus making putting them on camera a bit of a hard time. Okay, that's better. There. I always have to remember to mess around with the camera when I'm dealing with this yarn, or else it won't show properly. Whee! Come on. Probably not gonna get back to where I was because I had done a little bit more crocheting when I was offline, which is why it looks the way it looks. That is fine. But at least it definitely looks a bit more uniform than what it was looking like before, which is what I mainly care about. Nope, 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 nope. Whoop. Also, I don't think I sent you a thing for stickers whenever you... No worries. I was about to say a thing, like, I can wait. I do need to figure out what kind of stickers I would contemplate doing. Nope. Also, I realize I don't think I've mentioned, but if anybody has not stretched in the past 2 hours since I've been on, it is probably a good idea to get up and stretch. Also, oh geez, when did I drop that many frames? I had not been paying attention. Oopsie. Oh well. I definitely should not at least be messing with the viewing capabilities for everyone, I hope. It's not like a huge dump or anything. I just happened to notice that it was even dumping frames to begin with. Normally I'm a lot better at noticing that. I think it might have been during all the yarn winding. There we go. Although, I need to go check on a thing, so I'm gonna quickly be back. I just realized. I'll be back in a moment, so... Wrong screen. Feel free to plinko and stuff. I'll be back in a minute. in the back. Also, I hope I didn't bust anybody's eardrums by doing that. Whoops. My bad. Did not mean to be that loud. Oops. Anyhow. Thing has been checked on and it's all good. I thought so, but I was supposed to check on it a wee bit before and I forgot, so I had to rectify that error. Come on, why are we doing that? I very much appreciate you not doing that. There it is. Also, let's move that out the way. So I'm not blinding anybody. If I could. There, thank you. It is really, really fun. Oh, this is a little bit thicker because most of the stuff here is actually about sock weight. Yeah, about sock weight, which I didn't realize until I was putting it on. So basically I'm half double crocheting instead of double crocheting to get it to be at least similar enough in size. Also, I'm gonna need to put the other bit of it on the Swift, the 4-ply. So I can wind that into a cake. Which, that was the word I was looking for earlier and could not remember. I remember the umbrella part, but I did not remember Swift for the life of me. Don't know why. But yeah, this was fun, but also I'm kind of glad to be done with it. I'll be real honest. But it was also nice to not have to worry about, you know, where color was really going. So all you have to do is tear the bat and spin it however you would like. And whatever happens, happens. Which also reminds me, the BFL I have from you, I could also probably do that in one of these, maybe. That or use it in a separate shawl pattern. One or the other, because that is also, you know, probably not going to be sock yarn. So that is also an option. Although I think that's also a little bit thick, although, yeah, that's probably built Sport, if I remember correctly. Plus it didn't have a ton of yardage. 200 some odd yards. And this, you definitely need a bit of yardage if you want it really big, and I like my shawls pretty big because they are scarves for me. That's literally the only way I wear them. Oops, I'm doing the thing the normal way. I'm not supposed to. There it is. At the same time, this is like stuff that is like outside my comfort zone. So it was definitely fun to try something not in my usual colors. Alright, how much time we got left? About less than 10 minutes. I keep going until I at least finish this row. Come on. Also, what you mentioned before has me thinking about the whole, know how there's a bunch of fallacies in recorded history, especially in, you know, textbooks for schools? Because I feel like they kind of want, you know, a clean and easy version to not warrant too many questions. So they can kind of just get in and get out. I mean, not always the case. That's what I feel a general direction is. Do. But it also makes it interesting when you look up stuff or happen to see shows. There was that show that I really like. It only had like 3 seasons where they kind of go in depth about historical stuff and talked about facts where it's like, hey, even though the actual story told you this, you know, there are details that weren't really the thing. It was one of those History Channel shows. Which, I know, History Channel doesn't always do the best things, i.e. that Viking show. But it does have some good gems. I haven't watched the History Channel in quite a while. But it does have some good stuff when you get into it at times. Nope, come on. You can go through. I very much want you to go through the loop, please. Do. I think it's like 10 things you didn't know about, if that's the show. 10 things you didn't know about. There it is. Yep. Also, Henry Rawlings, and it was David Eslenbach. I don't think I saw all of season 3 because they did a stupid thing in how they aired it. But yeah, it only had 3 seasons, which made me sad. I liked that show. Not sure why they canceled it. It must have not had a lot in ratings, I suspect. But it's really, really interesting. Oh well. But yeah, this is like in the early 2010s. But I think I got it like later on, like they were doing maybe repeats or something. Although I swear I saw some of the third season live. But I definitely think I saw some of season 1 and 2 on, like, you know, repeats. Which also, is the History Channel... I forget under which umbrella of the big four it's under. I always forget which one of them they're under. Which also, that was History too. Da 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 da. Alright, where'd the thing go? Oh, yeah, I think it said History too. Yeah, right there. But I forget which one of the big four that one is under. With the umbrella of networks. Which I always find it interesting, the whole, hey, there shouldn't be no monopolies when it comes to businesses and stuff, and yet, you know, TV shows are under, like, you know, ownership of, like, you know, 4 major networks. It's always been something that's really strange to me. Oh, so I realize I know we're at the 3-hour mark, but I can go for a wee bit longer. So I should probably see about who we could host, but I'll have to proceed to getting off of here for today. Come on. If this plus the 4-ply doesn't finish this, I might have to get like a neutral color yarn to like go after it. And see how that goes. Or at least get some neutral color floof so I can hand spin it, which it would probably be Wool of the Andes, because I know they have a gray. So I could easily do that if I need to. Whoops, nope. I'm so used to double crochet. That half double is sometimes not in the memory banks. Also, hi, I would like to see OBS, please, so I can make sure I'm in frame. I nudged the mouse into the frame, the window disappeared. Which I was like, that better not be closed. Because that'll be a problem. Alright, is Looney still on? I could probably go and host him. I know he's doing coaster stuff and things. Which, I'm gonna do that after I finish this first row. Nope, come on. There it is. Do. How long? This might take me about 10 minutes. Might be less than that. Should not take me that long. And then I'm gonna have to do my daily drawing thing for the art Instagram, because I've been doing that. Which that has been fun, but it's also kind of work. That's a good 2 hours. I could be doing something else. Like trying to get my yarn in some sort of level of organization. That kind of needs to happen at some point. Not that my yarn is in complete disarray, but I need to, you know, make some things a little less a pain to get to. Do. Come on, you can do it. It stayed permanently overcast at this point. I think it's gonna rain. Wait, yeah, I'd mentioned that at the start. It said about 5. It's gonna start raining again, because it was pouring for a bit last night too. Although I will take the pouring rain over snow any day of the week. Usually once it starts getting stupid cold is usually more inclined to snow rather than rain. Although, was it last year or the year before? It hadn't snowed terribly much during the entirety of winter, like maybe once or twice. It was real weird. Normally we get snow a couple of times a year. I'd say at least a good 3-4 times. Not always like stupid heavy snow, but certainly at least a couple times where you have to go and shovel out the snow. So it was interesting, but not the worst thing ever either. At least that means one less thing, although at the same time, that could potentially be, you know, global warming. More than likely. Alright, we are getting there. Come on, there it is. So I think with that Corriedale that I have hanging out here, the purple stuff here, I might see some of that for weaving, given I have 8 ounces of it. So it definitely would be, you know, what I could use for some things. Although I haven't really touched any weaving in a little bit, given I've been busy with sock and such. And unfortunately, there is not enough hours in the day to do everything and anything. So, you know, gotta pick your stuff to do. Also, that reminds me I have the chainmail thing I need to work on. But that is also not a fresh thing. Plus that shouldn't take me terribly long. Although I do want to poke them and make sure get an accurate measurement as possible. Because, you know, 7.5 to 8 is a bit of leeway, and it's not like, you know, I have anything to make it stretch. So I need as accurate a number as I can potentially get. Which I have not used those rubber rings at all when it comes to chainmail. But I think it's mostly because I'm always worried I'm gonna break those. Come on. There it is. Also, if I wander out of frame, that is my bad. That is a thing I do. I try not to, but it happens. Alright, and and we are almost there. Okay, it is 3 hours and 10 minutes. Alright, so around what I thought it would take to get there. We're at the point where it takes a little while to get through a side, let alone the whole entire row. Although I imagine the whole of this being half double crochet does make things a little bit quicker. Yeah, come on. You can do it. Come on, and 3 and 4. Alright, so let me pause here. This definitely looks a lot more even, which pretty much was what the goal was with this. Also, it makes this color look a bit more saturated than what it actually is in person. It's a bit more dull to it. But I need the saturation up so you'd actually capture the bright colors here. Which is annoying. But it happens. Let me see. I'm gonna go to face camera since we are done for today. Also, let's turn this off so I don't have to deal with that. Ta-da! I have a face now. Let's see. I'm gonna go open. Oops. Ah, I did the wrong button. Would probably change things. Alright. Gonna wait through this commercial, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I very much hope you had a good time while I worked on the things and stuff. Cat Dreamer, thank you again for that follow. I hope you enjoyed me as your sewing company as I've done stuff and things. Also, just a reminder that we have a community challenge currently going on for potentially playing Hades for Project Linus, which helps kids stay warm in, colder months and such. Sorry, no worries, you're fine. I figured you were busy doing something. I am checking to see if Looney is still in existence. He's only been on for, 2 hours now? Jeez. I hope he's not leaving. I have to wait for this ad to go away, which is another 20 seconds. Thank you! That is 4,000 now, which that should put us at 16%? Yep, 16. Very much appreciate you guys doing that. I will be back again on... Okay, yeah, definitely looks like you should still be there. Be back again on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Obviously, enjoy the spoopy time if Halloween is your thing. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye! I will have the end screen for a moment and then go over there.